Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the June 12th weekly wrap-up. I am Commissioner Shakira Johnson, your District 4 Commissioner and Presiding Officer. And as you know, we're doing these brief videos every Friday morning to do a quick recap of what we worked on and talked about in the Board of Commissioners this week. So let's get started. On Tuesday, we did have a public hearing and a vote on extending the moratorium on data centers. So what does that mean? When the moratorium is in place, no new applications or permitting can take place on any data centers in all of the jurisdiction in which DeKalb County is in control of. So all of the incorporated area of DeKalb County, that is not allowed. So the moratorium is set to expire on June 23rd. We voted to extend it for another 100 days starting on June 23rd. So from June 23rd, we extended it for another 100 days. So I know there was another vote and another proposal. I think the original proposal or one of the motions was to extend it for 9 months. But listening to our attorney and the planning staff, the experts that are working on the zoning ordinance, the majority of the commissioners chose to go with the experts' advice and extend it for that 100 days. So the moratorium is still in place. We did not vote to end the moratorium. We just extended it 100 days. And in that 100 days, we're still working on trying to improve the data center text amendment, and that is the actual regulations for if we ever accept an application or if a data center applies and tries to get permitted or rezoned in DeKalb County. It is important that we have regulations in place on what those data centers would have to adhere to. So there's a lot of conversation, a lot of moving parts still going forward with that. We had that nighttime CAL meeting I spoke about last week, so we anticipate having a amendment or revision to the last text amendment, which hadn't been officially revised since January. We anticipate getting a revision on June 23rd for yet another public hearing on the text amendment. So the last public hearing this week was on extending the moratorium. The next one will be on the actual text amendment. And I fully expect, on talking with our planning and sustainability deputy director, that we will have a revision to review on June 23rd, which will incorporate information we've received from commissioners, from citizens, from Council of Quality Growth and other organizations, and just ongoing changes in the landscape of data centers, and trying to make sure we put all the right pieces into this ordinance. And again, reminder that this only regulates the land use. We can't use a zoning ordinance to regulate something like the water quality or the environmental stuff can't necessarily be regulated in the land use. So we're still working with all our other partners to make sure we get that accomplished as well. So stay tuned for more conversation about data centers to come. This past Wednesday, we held a town hall meeting, which was attended. We had a decent attendance. I think there's about 30 people in attendance, at least in person. I'm not quite certain how many people tuned in online. But the purpose of that town hall was to discuss the administration's proposal to increase the stormwater fee by 10%. It's another 10 by 10, so 10% each year for the next 10 years. As well as the solid waste fee. That is not quite as simple. That would be a proposal of 15% increase the first 2 years, and then down to a 10% increase for the next 8 years. And so we had healthy discussion, and we were able to get presentations to the public. That should be up on DCTV in case you missed it and want to see those presentations and get a better understanding of why we need to have these increases. So both the stormwater fee and the solid waste fee, those are what we call enterprise funds. So essentially, an enterprise fund should act as kind of a separate business model. So the fees raised by, let's say, solid waste or your sanitation fee should fully cover the cost of providing those services, as well as stormwater should fully cover the cost of the projects needed to improve our stormwater infrastructure. And so both of these funds have actually been working in a deficit, and where the general fund is having to subsidize the enterprise funds. Specifically, solid waste has been acting in a deficit for many, many years. And we have not had, I think we had a moderate increase of $50 a couple years ago, but we really hadn't had an increase in like over a decade. And so the administration is proposing the increase so that the fees can match what we're seeing in in the market. So we've talked about this before, that just as items increase at your house, the cost of everything increases at your house, cost of everything increases for the government as well. So the cost of salaries, the cost of gas, and just being able to operate these and provide these services, the cost for us to provide the services has gone up, and we have to try and level set and not be in a deficit and not have the general fund subsidize these enterprise funds, because that's spreading the burden to everyone, whether or not they're using the service. So when you're increasing the fee for the service, those who are getting the service are paying for that fee. So a lot of healthy discussion on that. I think it is set to go for a potential vote on the 23rd, but we will have to have a decision made by July 7th so that it can be in the tax bill along with the millage rate discussion. So reminder on the millage rate, there are 2 public hearings on the proposed millage rate, one in the morning of June 23rd, one in the evening of June 23rd, and then the last and third one will be the BOC on July 7th, and then we would vote on it on July 7th as well. So I'll keep bringing those up for the next couple of weeks, because those are really important things. Those hit your pocketbook directly. So I want to make sure you guys are all aware of that. So you'll hear me talk about that a couple more times. Another very exciting thing we're rolling out is our new day center or shelter for the unhoused. That is set to open this coming Monday, June 15th at 10 a.m. We have a contract and partnership with New Life Church at 3592 Flat Shoals Road. So this is a new endeavor. This is the first time we're doing this here in DeKalb County. We approved spending on this a couple months ago. I think it's around $1.5 million to have this day shelter, and this gives the unhoused a place to go during the day to get out of the elements, to get some respite. There's showers available. I think that we're working on laundry service. There'll be food access available. So we're really focused on trying to help the unhoused in our community, and not in a way that we haven't done in DeKalb County before. So previously, our community development department has done an amazing job, but they are fully funded by federal dollars, and those federal dollars come with a lot of restrictions. So what you're seeing us do recently in the last year and a half is put general fund dollars towards these resources to help the unhoused. And when we use general fund dollars, we can provide a lot more wraparound services. We have a little more leeway on how we can help these individuals, and not just give them a place to stay for a few hours, but maybe connect them with services that can get them permanently off the street. That is the goal ultimately. So really excited to see that happening. There's a couple iterations and back and forth on who and where we would be able to have this day shelter, but we settled on this one, and again, it's set to open June 15th. And the administration is also working on trying to secure a location for a day shelter in North DeKalb as well. So I think we'll see some more information on that come out in the next couple months. They're still, like I said, they're still working to secure a location, and as soon as they do, they will bring something to the Board of Commissioners to discuss and vote on. And then lastly, let's touch on today is the last day of early voting. We do have a critical runoff for the Board of Commissioners. District 3 incumbent is in a runoff, so as well as a couple statewide races. I know there's a state Senate race that's in a runoff that does touch part of District 4, so please make sure you're getting out to vote. If you didn't make it to early voting already, and you can't make it out to early voting today, you will go to your normal polling location this coming Tuesday. So again, every election, every vote is so critical, and every single vote counts. Just a quick anecdote about that. The state Senate race I mentioned, District 10, the lead vote getter in the primary leading into this runoff missed having to not have to go to runoff by only 42 votes. So when people say, oh, my one vote doesn't count, but if 42, 43 other people had not said that, had gone out to vote, we wouldn't have these runoffs. So every single election counts, every vote counts. Please make sure you're exercising that right to vote. It is so critical for everything that we do, especially at a time in America right now where it appears the federal government, some in the federal government, are trying to erode our accessibility to voting and just kind of erode our voice and our representation at the state and the federal level. So please exercise that right to vote. And also a reminder that since this coming Tuesday is a runoff election day, we have moved our normal Tuesday meetings to Thursday. So we won't be meeting this Tuesday. We'll be meeting Thursday, June 18th. So looking forward to that. Let me know if you guys have any questions about what we talked about today. Please follow. Please check out our podcast. And all our other ways of communicating with the constituency. Again, we're really laser focused on talking with our constituents, connecting with our constituents, and also just listening to our constituents. To that end, I'm having a coffee and chat with the commissioner at East Central Senior and Community Center this coming Monday morning. Really excited about that. It's always good to connect with our seniors and hear what they have going on in their lives and what is top of mind for them. So that's always a really fun time. I think this is the second or third time we're doing that. So looking forward to that as well. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back with you next Friday. And also want to plug before I leave, we are steadily working on our Shakira's Cookout Full Steam Ahead event. That is June 27th, so that is right around the corner. And that is our signature back to school event with a STEAM focus this year. So we're giving out STEAM kits. We're really connected with the engineering community, the arts community, to have some fun activities. Again, that's June 27th at 11 a.m. Also at East Central Senior and Community Center on Elam Road. So I hope to see everybody there. And there's more information on our Facebook page about that. All right, talk to you guys next week. Thank you.